Hi guys, welcome to my Best in Beauty of 2015. We're going to be chatting about all of my favorite products of 2015, some new discoveries, some old favorites, a few honorable mentions. I tried to pick one thing from each category, so let's get started. The first item we're talking about is brows. This is the Anastasia Dip Brow. This is kind of a creamy brow pomade. Really intimidating, but as I've mentioned before, I like to wipe the product off in the lid so it definitely doesn't go on as strong. I've got pretty full dark eyebrows as is, so I really don't need to do a whole lot with them, but when I want my brows to look really clean, really deep and full, this is the product that I go for, and it lasts all day. If you have really sparse brows, this is going to be even better for you because you can really get in there and create a gorgeous brow. It's like $20, but so is the Brow Wiz, and that'll only last you about a month or so. I've had this for months and months and months, and I still haven't run out of it. It hasn't dried out, and I highly recommend if you're looking for a new brow product. Next up is the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Primer. This stuff is a lifesaver. Before I found this, I barely even wore eyeshadow because there was no point. My eyelids are extremely oily, my skin is oily, my eyelids are oily, and eyeshadows just would not last. I would put them on, they would just disappear throughout the day, they would crease, but this is truly amazing. It is like $29, but it is 100% worth it, because if you're going out and buying eyeshadows, whether it be drugstore singles or a big, huge high-end palette, there is no point if it's just gonna last on your eyes for like an hour. So I find this extremely helpful, and if I wanna use kind of a colored base, I'll just put some of this on my finger and the colored base, mix it together, and then it adds that little bit of a longevity factor, but it is just super well worth it if you have oily eyelids. My favorite eyeshadow palette of the year, this one was tricky. I have accumulated quite a few eyeshadow palettes this year, and I will be doing an eyeshadow palette collection coming up in the new year. But if I had to choose, it would be the Lorac Unzipped Gold. If you are a gold lover, you've heard me mention this before, but this is beautiful. It's got champagne gold, yellow gold, deep gold, pink gold, brownie gold. The highlight shade in here is gorgeous. It's a great creamy matte that's not too light for my skin tone. Really soft shadows though, so you've got to be careful. As you can see, one of my shades is kind of crumbling. I highly suggest using a primer with these, not because they don't last, but because they are such a powdery, creamy formula. Not powdery in a bad way, but powdery in a good way, that there's just so much pigment. In addition to that, spray your brush with either water, Fix Plus, setting spray, and that's really going to help amp up the color, but I am just obsessed with this palette. That being said though, I do have an honorable mention just because it kind of surprised me in the way of eyeshadow palettes. I won this. This was not something I would have ever purchased. It is the IT Cosmetics Naturally Pretty palette. This is an all matte eyeshadow palette. I love matte eyeshadows, but for some reason, this palette just didn't really speak to me. It wasn't like, buy me, but I absolutely love this palette. The shades in here are gorgeous, great neutrals, but then you also get a few kind of purpley shades, a blue shade. I love the shade, kind of along the bottom row there, Sunrise, Sunset, and All Heart. And then you get the Transforming Pearl as well if you do want to make them more of a shimmer shadow. I don't really like to make them shimmery. I love to use them matte. This palette is absolutely great and totally deserves an honorable mention. If you are looking for some volume in your lashes, this is it. Hopefully you can get your hands on it. Bourjois is a little bit tricky to find. It is the Bourjois Mascara Effect Push-Up Volume Glamour. It borders on the line of spidery clumpy, but it like just gets there, enough so that it gives you crazy volume. I'm wearing it today, and I've had so many people ask me if I'm wearing false lashes. That being said, my eyelashes are pretty long to begin with, but I love this mascara, and especially if you pair it with something that has a more plastic brush, like I love pairing it with the CoverGirl, what is it? The CoverGirl Lash Blast, because that's got kind of a plastic brush, the Maybelline Rocket, anything with a more plasticky brush that'll help you brush through. Your lashes are gonna look absolutely amazing, and it helps to hold a curl, it lifts them, volumizes, adds a little bit of length, but if you can layer it, you're golden. My favorite eyeliner of the year, something that I mentioned in my recent high-end haul, which I will link to up here, is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner in Trooper. Everybody talked about this. I avoided it because high-end eyeliners, to me, I'm like, oh, it's not gonna last very long. I don't want to invest in something like that. I've been using gel liner for years. But they had this as a 100-point perk, so I picked up 2 of them during 2 separate Sephora orders. I'm in love. The brush makes it really easy to do a winged liner, and I suck at winged liner. It works works great over really pigmented shadows, still looks really black, long wearing, and I recently picked it up in full size, so that is saying a lot because I never ever thought I would purchase a high-end eyeliner. Moving on to the Face Kat Von D Lock It Tattoo Foundation. I have become such a Kat Von D fan over this past year. I purchased a bunch of stuff from her line and I really, really love it. A lot of people have kind of mixed feelings about this foundation. It can give you a cake face, like fresh out the bakery cake face. But if you are doing any photography, you're going out a lot, special events, if you film videos, I highly recommend this. It has got great coverage, lasts a really, really long time. If you do have oily skin, it will get a little bit oily throughout the day. I suggest keeping a blotting tissue on you or just using a little bit of toilet paper like I do. I've got a full review on this foundation where I show you demo and wear time throughout the day, so I will link to that up here. Any reviews that I have on these products, I will link to down below as well. But I just really, really recommend this product. It comes in a great range of shades as well, which is always a positive, and I think that it is just an absolutely fabulous foundation. For concealers, I don't even think I need to mention what it is. If you've been watching my videos for any time now, you know that I love the NYX HD Concealer, not only because it is a fabulous, fabulous concealer, but it's an amazing price too. So when you get those two together, it's like, perfect. The only issue with this is it does not have as much concealer in it as the majority of concealers, if you get what I'm saying. So maybe that makes it a little bit more expensive because you do need to repurchase more often. But it is great. Great coverage, really, really creamy, doesn't kind of settle too much in fine lines. I find all of my concealers eventually will settle in my fine lines, but it is just great. I use mine in the shade medium and I've repurchased about 3 times and I cannot get enough of it. Another product that you're probably sick of hearing me mention is my favorite powder. This hasn't changed from last year either. I did a full powder foundation routine a long time ago, so if you'd like to see an updated one, let me know. But this is the MAC Studio Fix powder. This is great. If you think that powder foundation isn't really your jam, seriously try this out. I used to just use it to set my foundation, but when I started using it as foundation, I honestly couldn't stop. I've gone through, I think, 3 or 4 of these in the past year, and I am a foundation junkie if you saw my foundation declutter. So this is just gorgeous. Great for setting your foundation, but I also love buffing it into my skin. Gives beautiful coverage. The most gorgeous finish I have ever seen on my skin comes when I use this. You need to kind of set it with a setting spray if you want to get rid of that powdery finish, but it looks like skin, but just way nicer and a little bit more flawless. And again, of course, MAC comes in a great range of shades. I use mine in the shade NC43, and I've got this kind of tucked away in a drawer because if I have this out, it's the only thing I'm going to use, and I need to start using up some of my other foundations, but I cannot wait to use this again. I guess it makes sense that all the products I'm mentioning right now are products that I've mentioned a lot. But my favorite bronzer kind of contour for the year is the NYX Matte Bronzer in the shade Deep. If you are my skin tone, you know the struggle of trying to find a contour that isn't going to look super ashy on your skin because it's kind of grayish and light, and something that's super reddy orange for people that are much deeper. This is perfect. It works as a bronzer, but even better as a contour. You can see that mine has had a lot of love. It's described as kind of a deep, cool brown, and that is exactly what it is. I love to use this as contour. It doesn't look muddy on my skin, blends in beautifully, great as a transition shade on the eyes, and I think this is my first one. I'm pretty sure this is my first one, but I've got 2 backups waiting to be used, and I really, really love this. I haven't found any other contour powder yet that stands up to this, and if you are my skin tone, seriously, you need it. From the Balm, I was really, really trying to find another blush that I could say was my favorite blush of 2015. But honestly, if I'm in a rush, if I'm packing a travel bag, if I'm going out, I'm probably going to be wearing the Balm Swiss Dot. I did a full review on all of the Balm blushes, including swatches of all 6 of them, which I will link to up here. But this is just gorgeous. I think it would be beautiful on just about any skin tone. It looks really, really peachy, but it's got this kind of neutrality to it, if that makes sense, that just makes it look really, really good with every skin tone, every lip color, every eye color. No matter what you got going on your face, this is totally compatible. And not only that, it has a great wear time. It is an in-stain blush, so it will kind of stain your cheeks, not to the point where it like won't come off, but it has great lasting power, beautiful, beautiful texture, and I cannot recommend these blushes enough. But if you were to only pick up one, Swiss Dot's your girl. I was a little bit torn when I was trying to select a highlight for 2015, so I picked two. The first one is a more budget-friendly option. It is the highlights in the Carly Bybel palette. These are amazing, completely comparable, if not better, than some of my high-end highlights. Not only that, you get 4 highlights in the palette along with 12 eyeshadows for I think $12.50 on the BH Cosmetics website. If you don't want to purchase it, don't worry, I'm doing a Christmas giveaway. I will link to that down below, and I'm giving away one of these. The second shade in is my favorite highlight. It is like boom, bam, cheekbones, almost looks wet on your skin. There is no glitter in them, and you can mix and match because you've got a light kind of cooler pinky highlight all the way up to a goldeny bronze highlight. And I love that you have the ability to customize to your mood, to your makeup look, to your skin tone, and the fact that they are such good quality for such a good price is amazing. But my second highlight is great quality, but not so much an amazing price because it's Bobbi Brown. It's a shimmer brick. It is my first shimmer brick that I've ever had. It's in the shade Apricot. If you remember from a high-end haul a little while ago, I purchased Bronze Glow, which was that highlight everybody went mad for last Christmas. I didn't purchase it, then it came out. I got so excited, but it had like the littlest bit of glitter in it. And when I put it on, I didn't feel that kind of like excitement that I felt when I watch other people put it on, because I'm like, damn, that looks really good. But when I put it on my face, I just wasn't feeling it. That being said, I picked this up when I was in Houston over the summer at a CCO, and this is so pretty. It gives you this kind of like peachy golden glow. You can mix it all together and put it on your cheeks. You can also use them as eyeshadows, and Bobbi Brown highlight or Bobbi Brown shimmer bricks are super hyped up, and now I totally get why, because they're amazing quality and just gives you such a gorgeous glow. But on the kind of downside, they are quite pricey. In case you are wondering, Rue is in her little igloo in there. She's not feeling overly social today, so I just put her in a little igloo and she's good. Moving on to lips. What I've got on my lips right now, if I had to pick a favorite liquid lipstick, I was torn between this one and Tool from ColourPop. This is their Ultra Matte lipstick. A lot of people said that these were really liquidy and they kind of peel off your lips, which yes, they kind of do. But they're also $6, come in a crazy amount of beautiful, beautiful colors, some wild colors like black and blue and green. But this has just been the most beautiful brown shade. I love wearing this. I never thought I would wear a brown lipstick, but I just find it so flattering. I don't even know if I mentioned the shade. It's ColourPop Limbo, and it's just such a gorgeous chocolate brown, and yeah, it's gorgeous. If I had to think back to the beginning of the year before liquid lipsticks were like absolutely crazy and everyone was going mad, what lipstick was I wearing all the time? It was MAC's Flat Out Fabulous. This, I think I mentioned in a few favorites videos. It is a gorgeous kind of medium pink, great for the summer, great for the winter. I think it would look gorgeous on people deeper than me, gorgeous on people who have like really, really ivory skin. It just seems like that perfect kind of pink wearable shade. You can wear it kind of full on, you can wear it kind of more as a stain on your lips, and it is just stunning. Highly recommend. It is a retro matte as well, I think. Yeah, it's a retro matte, so it is extremely matte. So you're gonna wanna kind of exfoliate your lips a little bit maybe, but so pretty. And lastly, my favorite lip liner for the year was ColourPop. ColourPop killed it with the lips. I could have put a whole bunch of ColourPop lip stuff in this video, but if I had to choose one, it would be the Bound Lippy Stick, or a lippy pencil, sorry. These are sharpenable, by the way. If they don't look like they can be sharpened, they can. They look like plastic, but they're sharpenable. This is a gorgeous kind of neutral color. The shade on the bottom of the tube looks super pink, but in it, it's a much more neutrally deep brown rosy color. I find it great worn on its own. I love wearing it with lipsticks that are a little bit too nude because it adds a little bit more definition to my lips. It is great with deep shades. It's great with pink shades. It is just perfect, and $5. Thank you so much for watching my Best in Beauty 2015. Let me know down below if you had to pick one favorite product for 2015, what would it be? If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at SamanthaJaneYT. Don't forget to enter my Christmas giveaway. I will link to that down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!